All righty, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another live event here on Steve Rother Horsemanship. Let me turn the chat on. Looks like Jan is on here. Chelsea's on. Hello, ladies. Let's see. Sue Duffy. Hello. Yeah, if you guys can hear me okay, let me know while everybody gets on here. I know this is a little early for some folks. It's 5 o'clock, but we try to mix these things up a little bit and give everybody a chance to make it live to these things. So sometimes we do them early, sometimes we do them late. Looks like Gail made it. Stephanie's here, just got off work. Glad you made it, Stephanie. Cool. Let's see. Tracy's on here too. Kathy Kaiser's in the house. Welcome, Kathy. So we've got, we're just going to do a kind of a shorter presentation today. We're going to say an hour, might be shorter. We'll see. Kind of know the digs that's going on today. Tomorrow is the last day for the early bird special. So just like what we've been doing with some of our other releases this winter is we do a little live event, get you guys some free education, some free motivation, kind of maybe help you along to the next step that you've got going on your horsemanship journey. And we're going to review over the early bird specials a little bit too. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually down an extra screen today. So what I'm going to try to do is share my screen, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work today because I'm down a screen. So let's try this and see what it does for me. All right, so let's see if it lets me do this. We weren't able to check this out before I got on. I think so. We're going to be all right. Okay, we're just going to bounce back and forth here. All right, so let's see what that did for you guys. All right, cool. There it is. So this is what we're going to be talking about tonight is the early bird live event insider series. In theory, technically, is what's going on. And what we're going to be doing is doing a quick introduction. I know a lot of you guys know me, but we just blew past 50,000 followers here on Facebook today. I think we gained a couple thousand followers just in the last couple of days. So in case any of those folks happen to be hopping on here too, we'll do a quick introduction. A lot of you guys already know me who've been a part of this page for a while, but we'll go ahead and just do a quick one. And then we're going to talk about a little bit of some of the struggles folks have with their horses and maybe learning and figuring things out in the horse industry. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how to solve those problems. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve Rother. And if you're looking to change your horsemanship and get back on track, you guys are at the right place. So let me see if we can get these slides working here. I've got stuff going all over the place today. Sorry, we're working off of one slide here, so it's a little tricky. All right. Ready for the quick intro? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've done over 3,000 live demonstrations, over 1,500 clinics, and I've trained horses for evening exhibitions for Liberty, Reining, Garocha, trick horses, and all breed riding demos, and much more. Let's see. I am the creator of the School of Horse at Horse Creek Ranch and the Excel with Horses Clinic Tour that draws in 800 to 1,000 riders per year. And in total, I've worked with over 30,000 head of horses. And I've done presentations for well over 1 million spectators. These are some crazy numbers. The Excel with Horses Clinic Tour, which just started this last weekend and goes the rest of the year and has been going on for decades, and the School of Horse at Horse Creek Ranch are among the top 5% of all horsemanship programs in the U.S. and Canada, meaning of all the horsemanship programs available, I am one of the most successful and sought after programs in the horsemanship industry. I am the creator of the popular One Ride Away 1 and One Ride Away 2 programs. Those are 30-day online pathways to improve your horsemanship journey. Super popular. The next one's going to be starting in March. And I'm also the creator of the all-new Equine Masterclass that was just released for a Black Friday special originally in November. And let's see. So this one shares my entire training program and method with you and how to create a successful partnership with your own horse at home. One thing I want to point out, though, before we get moving on, most folks are only about 50% successful with the horses that they train with just a standard training program. However, most of these horse owners don't have the roadmap and methods that I'll be sharing in these courses and tonight on the live. And just imagine if you could have the skills, the understanding to up your success from 50 to 90 to 100% each and every time you work with your horse. Imagine how that would affect your skill set, your confidence level, your safety level, and imagine the type of relationship you would have with those levels of success. All right. So let's move on here. We're going to be talking. Let me get back in the screen here. We're jumping slides all over the place here today. Let me join you guys back here. It's like a deck of cards back here today. Let's see. Here I am. It's like shuffling cards in the back. I normally have an extra screen over here to get me through, but for some reason, when I plugged it in, she ain't plugging in tonight. So, but just with everything else, we're going to make a twist, turn, and make it all happen. So, what I want to talk about tonight is some of the struggles and stuff that we go through as horse people, trying to figure out how to move forward, what to do with the next step in our journey. How do we seek help? What does that look like? Maybe being vulnerable, trying new things, and things like that. So put a comment in the chat here if any of you have ever been to a horsemanship camp or a clinic. Oh my gosh, Cliff and Kathy are here. Hey guys, just reading that in the chat. Put a comment in here if you've done a camp or a clinic. You can just put camp or you can put clinic. 50,000 followers. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, we hit that today. It kind of got crazy there. I'm telling you, it's getting crazy around here. But we know who the core people are. All right. So Gail's been to one. Amber's been to Bend clinics. We were just in Bend this last week. We just finished a 3-day colt start. Quick in and out, but we got all the colts started. Walk, trot, lope, both directions, loose in the arena, riding in a group. It was a great start. If we'd have been there one more day, we'd have been out on a trail with them. They did a super good job. But we went in, they'd all already done their homework. The ones that had done their homework, up, riding, ready to go. It was great. Let's see. This is a big one. Wendy says she's done 3 camps and 4 clinics. That's a pretty amazing number. Sometimes when people check into the camps, we're like, what's your number? And meaning how many camps have you been to? And there's amazing some folks, how many they have been to. Here we go. Let's see. Amy's got a good number here. She's done 4 clinics total, 2 with her horse, 2 without. Very good. We should maybe ask your guys' numbers. Sometimes that blows me away when we're doing orientations at places there. Like some of the numbers are pretty big. I would say the hosts from this weekend, I would bet, I don't even know. They're probably in the 30, 40 range as far as clinics and stuff. I go to their place 4 times a year now. I've been doing that for a few years. Plus, I've been going there for 15, 20 years, at least once or twice a year. Who knows? Maybe they've done 60 or 80 clinics. That's a big old number. Let's see. Oh, sorry about that with your. Hopefully she's doing okay. Darn it, Amber. 20 years. There she is. The champion, Cody. I love that. Let's see. Kathy says she's lost count on the clinics. That's a big number then. Let's see. Jody says she's done 2 clinics, hopefully at camp soon. Lindsay is going to up this number. She's at 0, but she going to build it. I love that. Ooh, this is a good one. Lori, 11 camps, 10 clinics. Holy smokes, girl. She's losing track. That's a big number. Here we go. Karen's eye. I love this. 60 clinics, 3 camps, people. Right there. Let's hear it for Karen. Holy smokes, she's done the math. 60. That's an amazing number. She did it right. Most of those, we went to her backyard. She originally, I think, come to us down in Klamath Falls when I was doing a clinic there years ago, and then been going to their place ever since. Here we go. We got 2 camps a year for 5 years and 10 clinics. Whoa, that's a big number. We got some competition going on here. What's this one? 7 camps, 9 clinics, the highlight of my horsemanship. I love it. Man, these are some big numbers here. Yeah, isn't that crazy, Denise? Like, that's a big number. That's a big number that Karen's got. Let's see. Cheryl, 6 clinics, 1 camp. I love it. These are all good. I don't know if I caught everybody's comments here. I got quite a... Oh, here we go. This is where I'm at too. I can't count that high. We've all lost track. Cool. All right. So I have some slides tonight. You know, I've been kind of doing some slides, but really I just kind of wanted to ad lib tonight. Just work off the sleeve a little bit and talk about maybe a couple stories and some things. And the main thing we're going to talk about is the early bird specials, and that they're ending tomorrow night. So thought we'd get on here a day early. It's a big decision to do an early bird special. You got to book time off work and find people to watch the dog or whatever at home, watch the husband or whatever you got going on at home. It's a big setup. You got to travel and everything. And, you know, when I was first at the beginning of some things like my horsemanship journey, one thing that I wished I had had was a place that I could go and stay and immerse myself. I wish I could have that. And I really couldn't find any places unless I went and worked for people or just went to their clinics. But I couldn't find a place for immersion. Doesn't mean they weren't out there. Like, there were guest ranches and things like that, but actual immersion. So what I had to do is I had to kind of create my own. I had to kind of twist the arm of some guys like, hey, can I come stay with you for a week or 2 or whatever? And that worked out. But there wasn't like an easy to access thing where I could just like lay down some money and go. You know, there was maybe like one place, but like I wasn't kind of in line with that program and that system. So I didn't go there. So laying forward from there, it's like, well, what do I do? How do I go about doing this? And that set me on a journey of thousands and thousands of miles, going through trucks and transmissions and trailers and horses and everything, just to learn all of these things that I'm trying to present to everybody. And maybe this was going to be towards the end of my presentation, but since I'm kind of on it now, let me try to jump around on my slides, and I want to show you guys something. Let me see if this will pop up here. Right here. So let's see if it did it. It did it. Let me try to get it bigger. This is an interesting picture here. Let me get rid of this message here. This is like a core group. So this was the Friends of Tom Dorrance Benefit Clinic back in 2001. Okay, 2001. So I was getting real serious about horsemanship back then. Okay, so that's, what is that, 24 years? We'll call it 25 years ago. Okay. And if you look at all of these people, if you were able to zoom in here, if you're on your phone, good luck, I guess. But if you're on a computer, you can kind of zoom in maybe and see what's going on here. But in the middle here is Ray Hunt. This is Brian Newbert. Peter Campbell. He's no longer with us anymore. Buck Brannaman, Pat Pirelli, a few, like, just lots and lots of good people. I think Craig Cameron's right up here. And I'm assuming this cursor is going where you guys can see. No, there we go. So Craig Cameron's up here. Dennis Reese, and all, like, you think about some of the biggest guys in the industry. There's Larry Mahan here off to the side. I guess my cursor's not really hitting right where it needs, but anyway, there's some cool folks in here. And right here is little old me, front and center, right up front. That is just me being eager, trying to be like as close as I can to all of these guys. And in this case, right next to Ray Hunt. This was years ago. A lot of these folks in this situation here, they're no longer with us anymore. There's a few. Chris Cox is sitting in here. Few folks left, but not a lot. Okay. But this is kind of the core here. These guys, Pirelli, Brannaman, Peter Campbell there, Brian Newbert, obviously Ray Hunt. Those are the kind of the core guys there, that for a very long time and still today, we kind of base a lot of our horsemanship on. And those were the type of people that I tried to surround myself with. So when people are like, well, Steve, what kind of program am I getting into? Because a lot of folks, honestly, a lot of the clients that I have right now, they've only been around for 5 or 6 years. Like we saw some on here, Karen and Cody and stuff. They've been around for years and years and years. But a lot of folks, they don't really know my history very much or who I learned from and things like that. They just kind of come in on a recommendation or they've heard a little bit of something. But this is the core back then. I've ridden with definitely all of the guys here in the little highlighted section, and several of the other individuals over the years, trying to get myself going and get my program going and be able to spread and share all these things with you guys. Because what's actually kind of happened over the years is, I don't know how to say this very well, but maybe I'll just kind of say this. When I was real hardcore riding with these guys and stuff, I'm looking at this pool of people and I'm like, there are so many people in this group. This is great. We're just going to like spread the word, right? And the whole world in like 10 years is going to be so horsemanship savvy. It'll be incredible. It's going to be amazing. And we'll all just be able to just stay home, not travel, do our own thing, and I'll probably be out of a job. So I better get at this now while I'm young, because surely with all these people, it's going to spread and get great. And to some extent, part of that is true. It has spread. People have been influenced. People have been affected. Personally, I would say, and I don't know what you guys have to say, but I see a lot of people throughout the year, and I travel to lots of places, states. I travel to other countries and things like that. I would say, as a whole, the industry, though somewhat more educated, has, I don't know the best word to say here live, but the industry's dumber than it used to be in some ways. Like the overall education level hasn't just risen. Like there are some, but what I'm trying to say, there is a lot of people that are working off so little education and information, even though it's available. Now, I'm not saying people are dumb. I'm just saying, like, as a whole, you would think with all of the resources that they have at their fingertips that were not available 20, 30, 40 years ago, that they would be better off. A lot of people are not. That's just what I'm noticing. Okay. Kind of like this TV back here that's supposed to be on and just went off. They just, all of a sudden, I think it's supposed to be good. And then bam, it's off. Okay. So, my goal has been to fix that in as many ways that I can. That's why I come on live here. That's why I try to help you. And like what we're working on today is to let you guys know the last chance to get the early bird specials, because one, like this information is limited. Obviously, a lot of these folks are gone. I am the youngest guy in this. I am turning 50 this year, which Doesn't make me old, but I was 20 some years old back then. So, um, 50 years old this year. So, um, I have a lot of education behind me, a lot of experience. Like since that photo, I'd probably worked 20 some thousand horses since that photo. So I've got quite a bit of experience since then to be able to rely on and lean back on and to share with you guys and to help you with your horses. Um, let's see, what were they talking about? Everybody's going in the chat here. Copy paste, my friend, copy paste. US or worldwide? Worldwide. Let's see. I'm just catching up with the chat here. So, um, so my mission is to help share all this with you guys is one of the things. And so let's kind of keep moving forward here. So it's like, well, how do I do this? How do I go from all these guys moving forward and doing clinics and stuff? I was like, I need something else. I need something more. So what did I do? I created a place at Horse Creek Ranch. So I lived on the road for 10 years. Okay. And then one day I finally bought a place. And that's where I'm at now. And at that place, Horse Creek Ranch, I have what's called the School of Horse because what I wanted to have, what I wanted to get was a place that people could immerse themselves and go beyond the clinic, get deeper education. The clinics are great. I love the clinics. For the most part, the clinics are kind of like an introductory item. Okay. It's like, hey, this is the start. This is the concepts. This is the theory. You can go back home at night and get back and do that thing and then come back here and spend a few hours and that sort of thing. But I wanted to have a place where people could get deeper. They could get to the next level. They could go what I call beyond the clinic. All right. So that's why I created the camps at Horse Creek Ranch. And that's what the early bird specials revolve around. Because over the years, like what's happened is there's inflation. We all know about that. Okay. We're just now seeing diesel back under $4. We all know what happened to that the last few years, right? Just got stupid, the fuel prices or whatever. And whatever the reason is causing is it really don't matter. Everything's higher, right? Your groceries are higher. Your fuel is higher. Your payments are higher. Your insurance, everything's just gone stupid. Okay. And I have held back prices for as long as I could possibly hold them back. My prices, I promise you, been lower than anybody on this whole list, unless they're just doing like an afternoon clinic at their home and 5 people are showing up. I've kept my prices back. So this year, I finally raised prices to keep up with the fuel bill, the insurance bill, the hay bill, all the bills, right? All the stuff. I've raised them kind of to make it at it because I'm not trying to make a lot of money in this, but I am trying to stay like keep everything structured. It's a business, right? Keep it like working, functioning properly. So because of that, the early bird specials is like the last chance to kind of get close to the old prices before they go. All right. Because I always have a hard time raising prices for folks because for me, when I was this kid, like I literally had like no money to go to this event. And I had a truck at the time, an old beat up truck. All right. And a buddy of mine had a car. So we run the numbers and we're like, let's take your car. We were driving from Oregon to Texas. The fuel bill is going to be X amount less. Right. And then what I decided is like, because we're so broke, we're going to stop along the way and work. So we scheduled an extra 3 or 4 days and I made some phone calls. Like we stopped off at a polo ranch and we started some polo horses. We stopped at another place. We worked some problem horses and we worked our way down to Texas, working horses along the way because we were 2 young buckaroo type cowboys that would like ride anything with hair back then. So it's like, we're going to work our way to the event. I went to the event. I started a colt at the event in front of all those thousands of people or whatever. And the pen with, I don't know, we had 40 people starting a colt at the same deal. And then I come home because I was like, we got to be there. We got to be there to support the benefit. We got to just like, this is a big opportunity. And because of that, I ended up I wasn't trying to, but people were like, who's that kid out there? So I ended up actually picking up some clients that were from the Northwest, and got some more clinics from that, interestingly enough. Um, but my point is I understand what it's like to like try to afford these things and do them, right? So that's why the early bird specials were created. It gives people a chance to get in at the lower price possible for the people that are hustling, that for the people that are aware, for the people that are following the page or have a friend that follow the page or whatever. The people that are out there searching and trying, we're trying to be there for you guys. All right. So that kind of explains all that. But let's talk a little bit about da, 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 da. Where was the wildest place you worked? Boy, that is a tough question there. I wild, there's a lot of places, but one place that I really, really liked, I worked up on the Continental Divide one summer as a head wranglers. I was straight out of high school, and back then, um, there was this book on ranches that you could like a hard copy book, and every year they'd print this thing out. It was hundreds of pages, and so what we'd do, because this was before the internet or anything really, well, like it was barely starting or whatever. We'd actually circle or mark a bunch of ranches, me and my friends, and then we'd take a loop during spring break. We'd drive out to these ranches in Wyoming and Colorado and Utah and Montana, and we'd stop in, we'd interview, we'd set up all these interviews via phone, and then we'd drop in and go. And whoops, wrong screen here. So we'd roll in there and I'd interview, and I got this job right out of high school running an entire horse program. Apparently, back then they weren't getting enough I don't know what the deal. I was like, I am not qualified. I mean, I was, but I didn't think I was. But apparently, especially on paper, they're like, this kid's qualified. So I ended up running an entire horse operation out there on the Continental Divide, and we'd run horses, or not run them. We run rides up into the Continental Divide there at, I don't know, it's 10, 12,000 foot elevation. I think we'd start at like 9,500 feet, some, I don't know, or I don't even remember the difference, but we would go way the hell up in the mountains. Maybe we were down around 7 or 8,000, because that math doesn't, that's not a big ride going 500 feet. So, but we'd go up around 10,000 plus foot elevation on some of these rides. And it was just, it was incredible. It was an incredible time of my life. In the after hours, there wasn't much to do. I didn't even have a vehicle out there. I got a ride out there and got dropped off because I think my vehicle broke down that year. So I ended up getting a ride and getting dropped off. So I just stayed at the ranch. I stayed at that ranch and the ranch next door and hung out a little bit. And so, like in the off time, I just saddle up a horse and go riding instead of going to town and getting whatever, dancing or whatever. I just stay on the ranch and um, chase coyotes at the horses and do whatever and just shenanigans and go at the neighboring ranch and hang out with that crew. And any rate, let's see. Da-da-da-da. What do we got here? We got the book. Are we talking about the book and hard selling over here? So anyway, that's a little off topic, but let's see. Sweet, I like that. Goal is to do a next camp. All right, let's so what I want to do though is I want to share a little bit about some other folks here. Okay. Who would like to hear from some other people here that have gone through this, that have taken the leap, we're going to talk about this here in a little bit. If I can hustle this around, um, some folks that have tried to take a leap, the leap of faith, right? Right there. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, because what happens is, how many of you have been like over here and you're trying to get over here, but you don't want to take this leap in the middle, right? You're like, I'm not certain what to do here. I don't know if I can make this jump, if I can cross this divide, right? And how many of you, like, put a 1 in your chat if you've ever been stuck like over here, wishing you could jump, right? Wishing you could jump. And you want to get here on the other side, but you're afraid to take that leap. So put a 1 if you've ever been afraid to take that leap. Yes, we're going to talk about the cow camp here in a little bit for sure. It's on my questionnaire tonight, Olga. We're going to do that for sure at the end during the Q&A. And then 2, put a 2 in the chat if you've taken a leap and it worked out for you. So 1 if you were scared to take a leap on something, and then 2 you did and it worked out, or 3 worse, you never took the leap and you wished you had. Put a 3 in the chat if you had wished you had done something. I know I've got a lot of 3s in my life. There's a lot of things I wished I'd have done and I never did, for sure. I've also taken a lot of opportunities and did them, but I've certainly had some where I wished I had. So yeah, put a 1, a 2, or a 3 in the chat, depending on what suits you guys. So a 1, if you've ever been scared to take one. 2, you took one, but then it worked out. And 3, you wished you had. Okay. Here's Jordan. She's like, 2, 1, 2, 3. Gotcha. Yeah. Amy's like, oh, hell yeah, every day in direct parts of my life, for sure. Yeah. So let's roll on here and check in with one of our people here. This one we have here is Rosie. Rosie herself, I don't know her number. I should know her number, but she just joined us a few years ago, and I bet her number's up to at least 2 or 3 camps and 3 or 4 clinics in just a couple of years. So let's see what she has to say. She says, as I've been working with these 2 last couple of weeks, this is just recent with her after coming to these things. She says, it has been so cool to finally understand what it means when they are searching for direction and what's next. I finally get it. I have completely changed my mindset and am laser focused when I'm working with them. The videos are helping me for sure. The transformation and the relationship just keeps getting better. Looking forward to an amazing year ahead. She has signed up through the early bird special. I don't remember what package she got, but we're definitely going to be seeing her quite a bit next year. And if you guys don't mind, if you were on here on a live a while back, we got to hear from her. But let's see where we got going. Hold on. Let's see if I can get this. All right, this is going to take me a second here. We gotta find. One second here. So we're gonna do this. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna start this again from the top.
I actually, I found
all right. Hopefully you guys can hear this
better because I have a deeper understanding. Hi, I'm Rosie. I'm from Cle Elum, Washington. I started this horse journey really late in life, like childhood dream to have my own horse. And then I got my own horse, and our joke has been I treat her like a kitty cat. I mean, it was like just cuddle the horse and be so sweet and all of these things, which absolutely I've learned doesn't work. I can't treat her like a kitty cat because we were out of control. I actually, I found Steve just because we were going to a trainer, and I thought, I need to be doing something different because I know nothing. And I was like, who's going to be at the horse park? And you were there, and we've gone to probably, 9 clinics, I think I counted. And this is camp 4. I feel like every single time it just gets better. It's like even if it was the same pattern or every single time it's better because I have a deeper understanding. Really learning to be patient. I think that was the biggest thing this week. just I have to slow down and be more patient with her and be the leader, because like she'll take over in about 2 seconds. So I mean, literally, I would just cuddle with her and not give her any direction, and she would just take off, and I would control nothing. And so now, with your direction of like to not accept that, like she has to be accountable. I have to have way higher expectations of what a horse should do, not just my little cuddle buddy.
How has that changed? Like, does she still like you and you like her? Like, what's that?
We have a better relationship now because I think she has more respect for me. We have a different respect for each other.
Gotcha. So it might be improved that relationship. Like, she looks to you differently and stuff.
She
So
does look to me differently.
yeah. So what are the differences maybe between a horse and a cat?
She can kill me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely, it's a safety thing. Absolutely.
Was that not on your radar prior?
No, I had no idea. Absolutely no idea. Seriously, just the dream of having a horse. I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah, you didn't understand like the things that could happen, good and bad, right? Yeah.
I mean, we were never loping. We were never any of it. Now we're running circles. We're doing all this stuff that I never thought we'd be able to do. Running out in the meadow, never. So it's been so fun.
Cool. Okay.
And the community, I mean, this group is so supportive, so fun. I've made so many more friends, and it's been really cool.
Cool. What's the blast having you? You're always fun and go get them, and no matter what's coming, you just kind of go do it. You don't really even grumble about it. You just get in there and
You gotta try.
keep coming. Gotta try. Yeah, it's been real good. So, and I know things are new for you too, and like again, just seeing the process and like appreciating that learning curve and like seeing you guys all just like rise up through the ranks. And what I really like is like, say just like you and Dee Dee, it could be everybody, but like in your guys' particular case, let's just say you're at this 2 or 3 years. I like knowing that I could take a person like you, and after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I could put you in the ring with almost any person that's been around horses their whole life, and you would do better with them conceptually. If I gave you a horse that was having a problem, you could sit down and probably figure it out, and it may not be the best, but you're like, this is what I need to do to get this better on your own, because you know, like you've been through the process. Versus I think of other situations where like they're riding and they're doing, and maybe they're even getting instruction on like how to ride, but they don't understand horses, right? And if something were to go astray from that, what do I do to step in, right? Whether it's to get them in a trailer, herd bound, or whatever the basics are. So it's cool to see that like grow the whole package. And I think that's also what maybe, I think it speeds it up, but at the same time it kind of slows it down, is you're hitting like 10 layers of education instead of just like posting trot every day and change rein and whatever. You're like learning all the avenues and stuff, which is cool. So appreciate you guys hanging in there and evolving.
It's all because of you.
So
You wouldn't have done any of it.
this is great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, that is our YouTube. So yeah, that's Rosie. And how cool of a deal is that to be able to see her and evolve? And she's just one example. Like I've had over 30,000 horses come through my program over the years, and they've all had people attached. So I get to see a real big variety of people, all the different breeds, all the different disciplines, all the different scenarios. I promise you, if it's ever happened, I've seen it, I've dealt with it, I've managed it, whatever it is, the combinations. And in all the years, I would say this: as tough as the horses are, like horses are tough. They're tough, right? Would everybody agree? Like if a horse is easy, he's easy. But if he's tough, he's tough. And even an easy horse can have tough moments or tough situations. But the hardest part of the equation, I promise you, is the people. As tough as the horses are, the hardest part is the people. Like, how do you bring them along and educate them? How do you help mold them? How do you, blend a class of like, say, Rosie just getting started, and then now she's got 6, 8 clinics under her belt, and then she's looking for this. And then you got people that are coming in with more experience. They've been at it their whole lifetime, or whatever the combination is. You've got English riders in there with Western riders, and you've got young horses with old horses and all this. How do you manage that? Well, a lot of that comes from experience and being in the trenches with those people a lot and trying to figure out how to blend that and how to mold that. And I feel like in my program, we've had a huge success in trying our best to get that to happen. And does every single person come home like 100% gratified? Like, no, not everybody, but we try our hardest to make sure that we are really close to that number. And I always tell people, like, if you ever get to a point when you're at a clinic or a camp or something and you're not getting enough, just let me know. And I am the first to stay over or to explain the situation or to, whatever. Maybe we're doing less for the day because I think the horse has done enough, and like we don't need to keep hounding on him. And then so when they say, "Hey, Steve, you didn't help me as much," it's like, well, your horse he's good, and he's going to be incredible tomorrow if we just don't mess with it much more today. Like, I know maybe you're ready to learn more, but your horse is done for the day. And if you want this amazing result, we need to back off. And so maybe that's the reason, and I'll explain it to them. And there could be other reasons too, or whatever. That's just one of them. I want to show you guys one more because who here has ever felt like, how do I get my foot in the door? I remember when I was younger, just starting out with all this, I'm like, where do I start? Like I was driving clear to Wyoming and Montana and stuff, looking for jobs with a group of guys, trying to figure out like, how do I get in the door? How do I get in the gate? How do I get this started? And put a 1 in the chat if any of you have ever felt like, how do I get this started? Like, where do I go to find the right kind of education? How do I find the right horse? How do I find the right people or the community to ride with? Like, there's so many options out there, right? Like, you can see a lot of things, but how do you actually get your foot in the door? So put a 1 in the chat if you've ever felt like, man, I wish I had a little bit more assistance trying to figure these things out. If you've ever been there. Okay, let's check that out. All right, so Stephanie says yes. Gina, yes. All right, Debbie, for sure. Yeah, it's a hard thing. So this next one we're going to talk about here is going to be talking about that. But before we pop over there, let's do one more slide here of Christina, who has also something to share. We shared this a little bit last time, but we're going to check in on Christina here. We'll just read this real quick, and then we're going to pop over while everybody's putting their 1s or so in the chat. So this is Christina. We shared about her in one of our last lives, but this is interesting. This is one of the things that I like about my people. When I talk to you and tell you that the people are the hardest part, it's not just like they're hard to teach, but the transformation of the human is harder to take a hold than the horses. Like, say if I just worked with the horses, because of my experience level, I could probably get some things going fairly quickly on average. But with people, they're so different, right? And some of them don't want to be vulnerable, and some of them have different experience levels, and maybe they've had other instructors that maybe told them differently, or whatever the case is. Everybody's different, right? But what I like about what Christina shared here is she went ahead and she got a little bit vulnerable here, okay? And she took a moment to try to share about like the transformation that she's going through, and just being there for everybody else in this group. So she's part of the Equine Masterclass, but what she had to say here is 2025 is the year I'm working on my side of the horsemanship equation and priority. Instead of quoting much of what Steve talks about, I'll summarize the situation with my own problem. Because what had happened was, when she had first come, and she's like, in general, is she's kind of like, well, my horse does this, my horse does that, my horse does this. And I was like, that's important. We need to fix that, but we also need to fix the other side, our side, right? Like, what are we doing to help her? And maybe how did she come up with that equation, that situation in her mind? And like, where does the confusion come from and all this stuff? So she goes on to say, in 2024, I found I wasn't helping my horse be less dull by being non-committal. with my ass. So there, she says she didn't think she was falling through. She wasn't firming up or committing to my phases by enacting the dreaded, oops, that was wrong. Better stop, reset, try again. I created a horse that was more dull and had zero desire or motivation to try. Yikes. So, and she had, come to a number of camps or clinics prior to this, just a few of them. And this is kind of what she had come up with. All right. It was an evolution. It took her time, right? This wasn't just, oh, I showed up, I'm in the clinic for just a few hours and now I know this. This has been an evolutionary process for her. Okay. So she says, while it's still a work in progress and most of the time it looks messy, I'm shifting my mindset to build us up, not tear us, myself, down. And that's so important what she said there. Like, we sometimes are our own worst enemy. Like, I see a lot of people online, like they get pretty I'll just say cocky or confident in themselves when they're sitting at the keyboard. But I know full well when we get home and we're working on things, it's not always the case for people. And that's where, like, on the internet, I'll be like, if there's somebody really bold there, I'll be like, just send me a video and let's see how good you really are. And I've had one person in all these years send me a video. Everybody else just gets kind of pissed off and walks away. And what that tells me is they just don't have that good of stuff. And it's not a criticism. It's just like, it shows how hard this stuff really is. We can make statements, but to actually, like she said, not tear herself down and to try hard, that's really hard for a lot of people. So she says, I'm shifting to seek out the positives in sessions first, noting and making adjustments on what could be and needs to be better in the future. And then second, a major struggle with the journey Ray and I have been on has been my inconsistency, full stop. But wait, there's more, in recognizing that true progress is and how to track it. So she was a little unsure of what is progress really. She says 2 major changes in the video. So she actually posted a video too, which was nice. And like my students, they're willing to step up and post videos too. And I so that they can share their good stuff. And then 2, if they want to have any critique or something or adjustments, like, hey, crew, is there anything that you guys think should change? And then also be like, hey, this is where I'm at. Because maybe it's not the most beautiful thing, but it's way better than it was 2 months ago and a year ago and that sort of thing. So it just kind of documents their journey. And it's really important to do that for all of us. So she says, 2 changes. Her expression, we used to have nasty penny ears anytime you picked up the lead rope for a session. And 2, her try is showing. I'm grateful for Steve's methods, sharing them with us, and all of you for sharing your stories and experiences. This is so cool. So that's kind of the community that we have, right? We have these people that are wanting to make these big moves, wanting to be bold, wanting to try. And I remember her when she showed up at camp. She's kind of meek and her horse is all fired up at times. You couldn't get within 10 feet of that mare with another horse or she'd flat spin and try to kick you. And we had to deal with some things. We had to get in and be like, hey, we don't need to be like that, and kind of show her how to educate that mare on like what are good choices, what are not good choices, and things like that. And she's come through that, I guess, is my point. Even though there were difficulties, even though maybe she had more, we'll just call it blame on the horse or whatever. And now she's starting to share that. But my point is this program isn't just about fixing the horses, like fixing her mare. It's about the people evolving and becoming like that huge future that we're looking for, where just everybody is savvy about everything. And we're hopeful for that. And as a society, not being less educated about horses. So it's been really cool to see her come through and grow and do all these things. So let's pop over here. We're going to watch one more. If I can find it here. I think we've got it. So I'm going to click the share and we're going to pop over there and see if we can get this going.
Didn't really quite know how to branch out into a community. And that was my deficit for me, was like, how do I get into it? And then this is my first time here at camp, which is awesome. I look at, I'm just like, I did it. Yes, that sense of accomplishment. Hi, my name is Gianna. My journey has been just a dream come true. I always had a vision at some point in my life. I was like, someday I'm going to buy a pony farm and I'm going to have my horse on my farm. I actually made it a reality at midlife. Through a colleague, I found this horse through a rescue lot. After I put 800 pounds on her, I was able to, take a look at YouTube and watch videos. And that was kind of my thing because I didn't really quite know how to branch out into a community. And that was my deficit for me, was like, how do I get into it? Along that way, I found this group, and I found Steve actually on the internet, sitting on my couch, going through the YouTube channel, watching trainers, like, okay, so I got to get my rope out there, and stick and string. Okay, got it. And then I saw he was going to Cle Elum. So a couple years ago, I came to my first clinic, kind of sat off in the back, but, I had this dragon that she just, has infinite energy. So he really helped me work through, how to run her through the rollbacks and, do these different techniques for me to try to help calm her down and myself. Because at that point, I really wasn't enjoying my horse, and that was really difficult and disappointing for me. Felt like I'd go out there and I'm like, does anyone else hate their horse? Like, I really hate this. It's so hard. And I admitted it on our second clinic. I was like, God, this really sucks so bad. But through that, all the steps that I've made and being a part of this community has been fun. And your personality is awesome. You're so funny, you're chill, and I'm intense. And it just really was just a great way for me to learn a different way of being a horse person, a horsewoman, and just building the foundation was great to watch, and to watch you as you were showing us, and then for me to try to repeat that and learn and then take home those lessons. And then this is my first time here at camp, which is awesome. Part of that camaraderie that I really, really like too. So that's been awesome for me to be here and learn and grow. And I hope to come back for many more. I'm just like, I did it. Yes, that sense of accomplishment and the friends made too, and to know like, okay, what's coming up next year? I need to start planning that now. And so it's been great. Yeah.
All right. Let's pop off of here. Cool. So, yeah, I really like watching some of those things and like seeing the before and after. Like, she was one of those people that had come in because she was in a really tough spot with her horse. Her horse, like she said, was a lot of energy, a lot going on, all different things. And what she was trying to do is contain that horse a lot. And as you guys know, who've been in the program, if you try to do too much for your horses without allowing them to learn on their own a little bit, like set up something and then let them try and figure it out rather than just containing them, it actually gets worse. You like carry this problem, and it's like pushing a ball down below water. So you're just going to hold. So the ball is your problem. You're going to push that ball down and hold it, like, don't spook, don't run, don't panic, don't. You can only hold it so long. And if you ever lose grip on that ball that's underwater, it just blows up. So what we do is instead of trying to hold the problems down in certain instances, we just let that ball up to the surface. So instead of trying to cram it down and letting it blow up, we just bring it to the surface, and then we move it around until it either disappears or we can manage it and put it somewhere. So the ball's just floating on the water. The problem's just sitting on the surface. Now we can work on it and address it. And at first, that's a little counterintuitive for people, but I teach people how this process is. But essentially, and I've seen it thousands of times, anytime you try to suppress things too much that are kind of close to the surface, it just makes it worse. So we teach people how to kind of work through all of that stuff and get things going. So, all right. Well, kind of today's the decision time. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through a few things here with you guys. I told you I would be giving you a little bit of a offer here. So who would be okay with me going through just a minute here and talking a little bit about our early bird specials? Would anybody be okay with that if we took a few minutes and talked about the early bird specials? Put a yes in the chat if you're like, yes, I want to hear one more time about these early bird specials. I need to decide if this is for me, if I need to invest in myself, invest in my horsemanship, take a leap, go beyond the clinic, and try to figure this stuff out. So put a yes in the chat if you would like to hear about some of the special things we have to offer for you guys. Stephanie says yes. Janice says yes. Kathy's yes. Everybody's yes, yes, yes. Gail's yes. Kendra's yes. All right, cool. So we're going to pop over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the offer that we have for the early bird specials, because in years past, and just to explain why we do some of these events here, one is to educate you guys, two is to motivate you, keep you going, especially in the wintertime, and then three, like I really want to make sure that you guys are aware of like the offers that we have here. Okay, all of the offers that are available to you, because like for so long, like I just don't announce things because I'm like, oh, they probably know or whatever, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a minute. We're going to flip through the little slides here and talk a little bit about what we have. So first off, you only have 1 day left on the early bird specials. So if you're sitting on there like not sure, you got 1 day left. This thing expires tomorrow night. Okay. So I wanted to get on here 1 day early just to give you a heads up. But let's talk about what's included. All right. So what you're going to get is you are going to get a one. Well, so let me explain this. There are 3 different levels of early bird specials for you guys. Okay. 3 different levels. So on the bottom level, the standard, okay, is you're going to get a ranch camp. The price for that is going to be $2,000 after the special. Okay. If you just sign up as a general member, no equine masterclass discount or anything else, it's $2,000 to be a camp, which is still, I think, a great value for a lot of people for what we do offer. Okay. What you're also going to get, okay, is you're going to get free accommodations. All right. So you get a place to stay, you get meals, and you get board for your horse. So there's no like separate fee, like, okay, you showed up, now it's $40 a night for a stall and this much to, for your meals, and then this much to stay. So, but I will say this is enough early bird specials have been sold already. The cabins are taken. There is word on the street. I'm going to try to hustle and get a couple more built before the year. So there may be some more room that way. But that we also have RV spots, and there's also a hotel down the road. So there are places to stay, but the cabins and stuff at the ranch are pretty much taken unless somebody moves around or whatever. Okay. All right. The next thing you're going to get is you're going to get a $200 discount for a 2025 clinic. So a person might say, Steve, your clinic price is raised too. It's like, yes, they have. But if you sign up for the early bird special, you get a $200 off for this level for a clinic. Okay. So that's going to help you guys out. You'll get 20% off at Equine Masterclass. All right. So Equine Masterclass is another $2,000 program. You'll be able to get 20% off of that. All right. That's a lifetime membership though. Okay. So lifetime, that's like literally as long as that program is going, it's a lifetime membership. All right. You'll also get a free registration to One Ride Away. And One Ride Away is the 30-day online pathway that so many people have gone through. And it just changes their entire horsemanship life, its perspective. Everything in that program is just life-changing for people, particularly if you're kind of new to the program, you're not really sure where to go, what to do. If you sign up, you get free access to that, and that starts in March. It's a program that I release about 4 to 5 times a year. You get 45 days to complete it. It's a 30-day pathway approximately. It comes with a workbook, daily lessons, videos, questions and all these things to kind of help make you get you through. It's been a super incredible program for so many people. The next thing you're going to get is you're going to get digital access to Groundwork and Horsemanship Series DVDs. We are no longer selling DVDs. We're kind of catching up with the times. I do have a few stragglers left here or there, but you'll get digital access to those videos in our video vault for Groundwork and Horsemanship Series. You also get free digital Success Series book. Now, I did not get a chance to get all these slides taken care of properly, but that comes to a $4,700 value. And the investment today is $1,597 for that level. Okay. We also have a payment plan for that. It's 4 easy payments at $399 to make that work. I know because $1,600 is a big chunk for a lot of people. We spread that. We can, if you want, spread that out over 4 payments. Now you might say, well, what's the other ones you have going? Well, we have a second level. It's the premium. The difference between that is you get 1 5-day camp, 2 2025 clinics, 30% off Equine Masterclass, and you get the Groundwork and Horsemanship Series 2. So what's the difference? You still get a camp, but you also get 2 clinics. You get 30% off Equine Masterclass, and you get digital access to the Groundwork and Horsemanship Series 2. The total value of that is $7,100. The investment for that is $2,397 or 4 payments of $599. So that's our middle package, the premium package. The next one we are offering is the elite package. The difference between this one, it's 2 5-day camps, okay, 2 2025 clinics, and 40% off Equine Masterclass. I did not get a chance to redo all these numbers, but the math in the office says it comes to $10,100. The investment today is $3,997. Comes to 4 payments of $999. Okay, so those are all the packages that we offer. Essentially, the difference between them, like you get similar things in there. Okay, but the main difference is the first one is a 1 camp and $200 off a clinic. The second one is 1 camp, 2 clinics, and the third one is 2 camps, 2 clinics. That's the basic outline. All right. So again, this is the main one here. And then we have this one here, the premium, and then this one here, the elite. Okay. And here are the packages. All right. So let me get a link for you guys as far as what's going on with all of this, because you're probably like, well, how do we get signed up with all of this? So the link is there, and then I will also post it in the chat. So there is this one. Let me get to the chat. So here's that one. Okay. Oh, I got my little chat bot going there, and that is hilarious. Okay, so that is the link for the early bird checkout. And then some of you might just be like, you know what? I'm kind of like, I would like to get some more info about what all is included. So if you guys would more just like general info, okay, on that, let me get you guys a link for that. You just have to go to this link, and then you can, let's see here. All right. You go to this link in the chat. Maybe if you guys could slow down on the affiliate links while I'm posting these. People are just going to get confused there. All right. So we've got the early bird checkout, and then we've got the early bird info. Okay. So those are the 2 chat. Let me do this here for general. Thank you, Kim. For general info, okay, go to this link. Let's see if it will let me. Well, it doesn't let me I was going to put them both on there. And then yeah, sorry, I'm grabbing links and stuff here. Okay. And then if you just want to go straight to the checkout page, this is the one for that. I'll type that in straight. There's so many. I know sometimes it gets a little confusing but what happens is technology changes throughout the years, and we are trying our best to kind of keep up. Okay, so Sue. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, while everybody's kind of looking through that and making choices or whatever, what you'll need to do, Sue, is reach out to the office. So general questions. If you're a Equine Masterclass member, you can email my admin at info@horseteacher.com, and they can answer any of those questions. So like she had a question, how do I get my link? Because one of the let's see, let's put this in here. Where is Sue's? Yeah. So one of the things that goes on there is you guys will get discounts as Equine Masterclass people. But I will say this, because this is one of the questions in there for tonight, is how do we get that discount, right? And what my office is telling me, the early bird specials are a better deal than the discounts that are offered for Equine Masterclass until tomorrow. Then Equine Masterclass is better because the early bird specials are gone. Okay, so they've run the numbers and they've told me that the specials, the early bird specials, are a better deal than the Equine Masterclass, unless you just like buying one thing. Okay, the other thing that we need to mention, let me see if this is going to how do we get here? I do not have this. Well, if you guys do go to the general information page and fill out the stuff, and you are just wanting to let's see if I can get in here. One second here. Just trying to get there for you guys. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna screen share. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So if this is the page it'll eventually take you to, you've got the packages here, right? So 1, 2, and 3. All right. Let me get that bigger on the screen here for you guys. Okay. So these are the packages. All right. And what, some people maybe aren't wanting to do the clinics or the camps. Sorry. So there should be a spot on here. So these are all the testimonies. I want to watch some more. This is Mark's testimony. This is a great one of this combination of folks. This one's about Corey. That's a really good one. This is kind of an overview of the ranch. This is such a good one here. I'll watch this for a minute. But there's a link as you scroll down here for if you just want to do camps. All footage. All right. That was kind of fun. Yeah. So, whoops, here we go. Uh, who does your drone work? I did all that from horseback. So whatever you saw there, that was me flying while I was riding. Some of the videos I'm in, some of them I'm just off the screen there. But yeah, that's been a while since I filmed that. We have a drone still, and I fly it a little bit. But yeah, did that all myself in house to keep the costs down, Wendy. So hiring a drone team, I don't even know. I feel like that's an extra 10 G's, or I don't even know what it takes to get a crew out. I've checked around a little. It was kind of ridiculous. I'm like, I'll just buy a drone and do it myself. So there you go, Sue. Date night. All right. So just as a reminder, if I've still got these things floating around here, these are the packages. Okay. Hopefully that's showing. Let's get that a little bigger for you guys. These are the packages. You've got the start your journey for the standard. We've got the level up your journey, the premium, and we've got the elite right there. So links are in the chat. Same thing. Everything's in-house, Cappy. That's an older video, but I did all that myself. I edited it, filmed it. Well, I didn't film everything. I filmed all the drone stuff, which mostly that was drone. Yeah. Where's my demo horse? Oh, it is in the other room. Should I go grab him? Let me see. Do not go anywhere while you guys are chatting. So if anybody has any questions, type them in the chat. I'm going to go get the demo horse. All right, we're about back here. Here's the demo horse. Wendy was kind enough to gift this. If we had any equitation issues for bending, haunches in, shoulders in, different things, rearing, laying down, the basics. For Equine Masterclass, when we do our live deals, which next week, if anybody's in Equine Masterclass, we're going to be releasing the exact time, but we're going to have our little guy. We should have a naming contest, Wendy. We got to name this dude. We're going to be doing that next week. For anybody's on here in Equine Masterclass, we're going to have our monthly little get together. So, all right, let's see. Does anybody have any questions? That's more my speed. I love that. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Debbie. Yeah, you can come in. We got some real nice horses. This year I've got a Lusitano gelding. I've got a warm blood gelding, a Dutch, and I've got Maverick will be here. I've still got Xena. We got a few other horses. So like Maverick and Xena and all them, those are the old trustees, but depending on the rider and depending on how those other horses are doing, we may have some other options for folks also. So we got leased horses. You can fly in, all that stuff. We can get you taken care of. Okay, Debbie says, I get that these are not for all riders since some of us hardly have the courage to drive a truck and trailer 5 kilometers. Hold on. Not a possibility, but besides one right away, was the next best thing to sign up for if money is an issue? And what else did she say? Sorry, I'm trying to. Oh, and highway driving isn't a possibility. Too small of a truck and heavy 30-year-old trailer. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's how they were answering already for you there, Debbie. You can fly in or you can come to a clinic. Like, I was in your backyard, right? Whenever that was, at August, whatever. So, I should be going to Chilliwack again this year also. You just got to check the schedule and plan ahead, Debbie. But you're also welcome here at the ranch. People fly in all the time, and can make that work. So, but the next best thing, other than the Equine Masterclass series, the one right away, is to show up there when I'm in your backyard. Cool. All right. Any other questions here? All right. I think I'm just checking all my stuff here for questions. My chat bot is going. I got to get my chat bot turned off. I'm not even sure how to. I need to take care of that. All right. What else do we have? My admin sent a couple questions here. The cabins are taken, but we have a hotel down the road. We might be building a couple more cabins. We'll see if I get time. And then, but we have plenty of RV spots, and that sort of thing available. Spooktacular Camp actually though has room. So if you wanted to sign up for Spooktacular, we still got cabins for that. They said, what is the performance part of the Liberty and Performance Camp? So when I say performance, I'm talking about maneuvers. I guess that's kind of tricky when you put Liberty and then performance. Maybe it's like we're doing a Liberty performance. But what I mean by that is we're going to be doing some Liberty work at that camp. So it's called Liberty and Performance Camp. Okay. And then we're going to be doing some maneuver stuff, right? More advanced riding, technically. Okay. That could be advanced trail or whatever, but it's not designed to be like a rookie raw basic class. So it's Liberty work for Liberty and Performance, and performance like maneuvers. Just think maneuvers like how to get your horses to stop better, turn around better, lead change, lope circles better, that sort of thing. Okay. What is the new cow camp? The new cow camp is we're going to have a batch of cattle here, and all we're going to do is cow stuff. We're going to talk about herd dynamics and sorting cows and maybe cutting cows or driving cattle and things like that. It's not going to be a super advanced thing. Like you don't need a cutting horse to come to that, but it's going to be cow, cow, cow. So a lot of times we'll get the cows out even at a normal camp, but people kind of get bored after a day or two. So I thought, hey, let's just get a group of hardcore cow people in here that just want to do cows. Now, does that mean every single session will be cattle? No, because sometimes we'll need to tune up our horses or talk about maneuvers or slower work or whatever is involved. But the whole week's going to be about working cattle, roping, whatever. So now that will also be determined by the individual folks. Like if we get 15 people that want to rope cattle, we'll be roping all week. Okay. If we get 15 people that just want to drive cattle around, we'll be driving cattle all week. If we get 10 people that want to drive cattle and 5 people that want to rope, then we'll probably rope for a little bit and we'll drive for a little bit, or, we'll kind of mix things up that way. It'll depend on who's going. But it's not going to be, oh, we showed up for cow camp. We're going to work cattle for one day that Steve just bought or rented or whatever I'm going to do. And then we're not working cattle. We're working cattle all week. So if they all show up and they want one day of cow work, they'll be watching me work cattle for the next 4 days. Okay. All right. Let's see. Are all the cabins full for the cow camp as well? As far as I know, they are. But again, we've got a hotel. We've got other options. We may be building some more cabins. You can also bring a tent. There's RV parking. And can you talk about what the cow camp is like? So yeah, so we just answered these 2 questions. Hopefully you got that. If you have any more on top of that, Olga, let me know. Can you still join a clinic if you're not a member? Absolutely. You do not have to be a member of anything to come ride with me. Members get discounts, but if you want to roll in and pay the standard fee and come ride with us, you are definitely more than welcome, Karen. We'd love to have you. I've just set up part of the memberships is a discount feature. Okay. So like, say this is just rough numbers. Say you sign up for a 4-day clinic. Okay. That price this year is $1,200. But if you had an equine masterclass membership, it's $900. Okay. And if you're a Horse Teacher University member, it's $960. So you just get a little bit of a discount. But if you don't want to sign up for those programs and you just want to roll in and ride with me, absolutely. We'd love to have you, Karen. How can you keep Star close to you during Liberty work? We're going to talk about that at Liberty Camp, but essentially it's just like everything else. You need to reward the things you want and discourage the things that you don't want. So probably in that case, you might need a little smaller pen, and you need to make it a little harder to be away from me and a little easier to be next to you. Be a little hard to demonstrate, but I imagine there. And then that'll be a great question. We can talk about more in detail on our next equine masterclass there, Donita. I love this. Hello. How are you? Where are you from? I am doing great from Washington today. So, yeah, here we go. Wendy's got it. Tiny homes on the flatbed. Let's see. There we go. I like that. Hold a steer. I love that. I don't even know what this is. I said something. What? I don't know how to answer that though. I didn't see when it popped on what I was talking about. Oh, maybe she's talking about cow camp. Cross hobbling. Yes. And she's been hobbled. She came to the ranch, so we hobbled her at least once. Even the cabin down the road. Yes, that is a cabin. It is also full. Yeah. Oh, no roping. No, we'll be roping. No, we're roping. Yeah. If people want to rope, we're roping. Are you kidding me? Of course we're roping. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have showers if we stay in a camper? Yes, we have a full bath. It's got a bathtub with a shower. It's got a sink. It's got a toilet. It's got a place to change and all that. It's kind of a community one. So kind of keep it cleaned up after folks. But yes, we have shower facilities. It's 600-800 foot walk if you're on the upper RV. If you're on the lower RV, it's like 200 foot, so it's not far. Okay. Yeah, we need more cabins, or we need people with more living quarters, Kathy. That's also what I'm saying. People need some LQs or just sleep in the nose of their trailer. And I'm telling you what, during some of the summer and spring, so it's not that cold here. We try to schedule the camps where it's, decent weather. So if a person were to bunk in, we've had people just stay in the back of their trailers. They clean it out, hose it out. They set up a cot. Because we're eating inside for dinners. We've got the shower there and stuff. There's a rec room, if people need to get out of the weather or whatever. Like, it's not like we're out in the middle of the field just hoping it all works out. We've got some facility here, right? So, oh yeah. Well, hey folks, we got room all of a sudden. Kara says she could bring her RV, so that may open up a cabin spot. We just had to talk to Kara. Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay. Are you teaching us how to rope? Are you sure you have the patience? Very good point. Normally a person's left arm will give out before I have to worry about teaching you too long. So that's the rope you hold, or the hand you hold the slack in. I feel like that one goes quicker than the other one. Let's see. Yeah, March Colt camp be a little chilly, but we'll make it through. But maybe not. It could not be bad in March. You never know. There we go. So let me roll up here. Kara's like, She might be able to rent a trailer. That could be available depending. And then this one, I love this. Wendy is offering up tent and queen air mattress for a small fee. That's good. There it is. Use a hammock, people. I'm loving it. There we go. And Donita's pushing for family members to bring LQs. I love that. All right. Well, anybody else any questions? Yeah, we've got Wade saddles for that, Kathy. Not to worry, we are prepared in the roping area for sure. Does anybody else have any final questions before we get going? So this is again the early bird specials. We got some links here. Let me if you want to go straight to the checkout page, you can do that. But if you want any more info, you have to go to the other one. So this is the checkout page. Okay. And then if you want general info, let me just put this one more time for you guys. General info. Did I do this right? Well, I probably grabbing the wrong link here, but this is close enough. This will get you in. It'll probably bypass the email. And then if you just have general questions, okay. Let's see, general questions. Let's see. 1 second here. Okay. All right. You can go to info@horseteacher.com. Okay. So, all right. Well, I think that is about it. I do not see any more questions. So I wanted to give you guys a big thank you for joining me today. I know it's kind of a long deal, hour and a half or so, but thank you for tuning in. This is your last chance to get them. So I do what I can for you guys to make things as good as possible for everybody so we can all participate and have a good time. But I am looking forward to 2025. Hopefully this is your year or your next year of stepping forward and taking care of yourself and your horsemanship. It's a great program. It's been around for a long time. We've got so many people have come through here, had an amazing time. And I'm looking forward to spending more time with folks this year and showing some cool new stuff. I go out and I study myself. So each and every year we have either new twists on old things, or we have brand new things, or we have different combinations of things. So I'm always out there studying and working on new stuff to bring you guys. So even if you've been before, there'll be a little catch on some new things here and there. So yeah, just click those buttons, get signed up. You have till tomorrow night. So I hope you guys all can step in there and make the right choice for what you guys need. But I promise you, it'll be a good time if you take the jump and take that leap of faith that we were talking about earlier. So thank you guys very much for your time. If another app, it's on its way, Amy. We're in the final edit process. Yes. Yeah. If you guys like this chat, put a like or a heart in the chat or on the button. Hit the button if you liked it. And we'll be on here again at some point. But Equine Masterclass members, look for the email and the announcement coming for next week. Word on the streets probably Wednesday, but we'll see. So yeah, put your likes and hearts and all that, and we'll check in with you guys later. Thank you so much for joining me, and you guys be safe with your horses out there. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your winter. I was out snowboarding yesterday, enjoying the winter, like owning it, not running from it. So yeah, we'll catch you all later. Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to get this thing going here. We got to get several buttons to get out of here. So thank you guys. We'll catch you all again soon.